Hello, coaches and basketball enthusiasts. Welcome to the Coach Carvalho podcast, the podcast that explores the world of statistically based basketball strategies and bold training methods. I'm Coach Carvalho, your host, and in today's episode, I am excited to analyze the current NCAA Division I men's basketball season, shining the spotlight on the often overlooked aspect of defense. When analyzing NCAA Division I men's basketball games, one glaring issue emerges: the lack of effective defensive systems among teams. This imbalance often favors teams with superior offensive scoring power. In many instances, teams with passive and reactive defensive strategies find it challenging to compete against opponents with superior offensive talent, turning matches into mere shooting contests. For example, let's take a closer look at the contrasting performances of offense heavy NATO's Alabama team and Houston. While Alabama has an impressive offensive record, leading the SEC and ranking number 5 nationally with an average of 91 points per game. However, their defensive statistics paint a different story, revealing vulnerabilities as they rank 181st in defensive efficiency and 306 in opponents' points per game. These numbers underscore that Alabama's success thus far in the season has heavily relied on their offense scoring capabilities. In contrast, teams like Houston exemplify the effectiveness of a balanced strategy, ranking number 1 in the nation and in the Big 12 for defensive efficiency. Houston limits their opponents to an average of 55.3 points per game. This underscores the profound impact of a strong defensive foundation. Recent upsets, such as LSU's unexpected win over Kentucky, also underscore the game-changing potential of a strong defensive performance. This raises the question of whether teams should prioritize a balanced approach to offense and defense or focus solely on strengthening their offense. While shooting capabilities may benefit powerhouse teams, a solid defensive foundation remains crucial for less talented teams, enabling them to secure victories against stronger opponents. Conversely, teams lacking offensive strength and relying solely on reactive defenses without prioritizing ball possession control and points per possession may struggle to compete, turning the game into a mere shooting contest with predictable outcomes. When comparing offense and defense, a strong offense alongside an average defense is more likely to result in success. Conversely, a weak offense combined with poor defense offers little chance of success on the court. However, an average offense backed by a strong defense will boost the likelihood of success. In conclusion, defense is vital in basketball. Teams that prioritize defense and strive for a balance between offense and defense will have their chances increased for success in competitive matchups, even when facing more talented teams. The upcoming March Madness and NCAA tournament will put to the test the validity of this principle, as showcased by teams like Alabama and Houston and their distinct approaches to the game. Well, coaches, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Coach Carvalho podcast. If you found it helpful, please show your support by leaving likes on our podcast website. Your engagement is vital in attracting on-site advertisements. Also, remember that you can access our podcast on various platforms, including TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and other main apps in the market. Just search for Coach Carvalho Podcast to catch up on all of our episodes. Coaches, I look forward to having you as our guest on our next episode. Until then, always keep in mind that defense wins championships, and keep striving for that perfect balance between offense and defense on the court. This is Coach Carvalho signing off.